Hunter x Hunter now has an ending. The series of Hunter x Hunter, it's still on a break, still on hiatus, hiatus x hiatus, and you know how it is. But Togashi recently tweeted out the corner of a page that gained a whopping 469,000 likes on Twitter, which is literally insane. That's insane. That's more likes than most series get in just general day-to-day posting on the weeks. That's insane. But recently, and by recently, I mean it literally happened like a couple of hours ago within the recording of this video, an interview that Togashi had him talking about the possibility of his death being a cause for him not being able to finish Hunter x Hunter, and I can't express to you how sad that made me feel. I'm a big fan of Hunter x Hunter. I have multiple tattoos, multiple books of it, multiple posters behind it. I'm a big fan of the series overall, so the thought of him dying before actually being able to finish what could be his magnum opus makes me genuinely sad inside. But during this interview, he gave some possible endings, and I wanted to bring them to you guys because I like talking about Hunter x Hunter. You know, when it comes back, I will cover it on this channel. So if you've been around this channel for a while, you'll know that I am a massive fan of Hunter x Hunter, and I have it in my top 3 of all time, and it is literally only topped by Vagabond as far as I'm concerned, for me personally. But this transcript that I'm about to read to you, it is translated by a massive One Piece leaker known as Pupi, so please bear in mind that it may not be 100% accurate. But I did want to just talk about this transcript and give my little thoughts on it. But this is how the transcript goes. For the ending, I have prepared 3 scenarios: A, B, and C, and when considering the proportional reaction from readers ranging from satisfaction to dissatisfaction, the ending A is deemed satisfactory by 50% and unsatisfactory by 20%. And this doesn't necessarily imply a high rating, but for me, reaching it will secure it in a way that doesn't complicate matters with excessive criticism in my belief. As for ending B, opinions will be divided similarly between satisfaction and dissatisfaction. For ending C, I anticipate satisfaction rate of 10% and a dissatisfaction rate of 90%. And why do I keep it present even with a high rate of dissatisfaction? That's because it is my personal preference, but fundamentally I want to think to the utmost extent about an ending of the point where I might not choose any of these 3 and create what I find the most enjoyable, which is my ideal and goal. I kind of like that. That statement from when I'm reading that out loud, that statement for me, that's kind of like Togashi saying, listen, you guys may not like the ending that I have in mind, but narratively it makes the most sense and I'm the most happy with it. And personally, I fuck with that heavily. I really like that. I mean, as a long time fan of Hunter x Hunter, I could probably read that ending. I don't know what it might be yet, but I could probably read that ending and I could narratively say I really enjoyed that, but it could feel kind of ass. But it is what it is. But I like that he's honest about it, and I like that he's open to that possibility of just everyone hating that ending in general. But he goes on to say, to give you a clearer picture, I will share scenario D, which fell out of the candidate scenarios for the ending if fate takes me before finishing the manga. Consider it the manga's ending. I would be happy for you to forgive me for that. So this is basically Togashi saying, if worse comes to worse and I pass off from this mortal coil, this ending D that I'm about to read to you will be the official ending of Hunter x Hunter. And that ending goes like this. Next to the lake, a girl named Jin, holding a fishing rod, stands motionless, and suddenly the rod shakes violently, and Jin, startled, exclaims, I got him, I got the Lake Lord. Skillfully lifts this Lake Lord onto his shoulders and stands before a woman saying, as I promised, I caught the Lake Lord, mum. And Jin approaches the woman and passionately declares, you must not tell me again. You must become a hunter. The woman, with no tricks left, nods her head. Jin, still carrying the Lake Lord on her shoulder, walks away, and the mother comments to her husband that Jin's dream is to never leave the island and inherit their place. And the father agrees, laughing, and the mother expresses her dissatisfaction, saying perhaps her desires will change later. But I want to know, you and Jin, why are you like this? Surely it's because of the blood of Grandma Mito and Grandma Noko. The woman seems unaware that Grandma Mito and Grandma Noko are not related by blood, and the father smiles knowingly, and the woman, expressing her unwillingness as a mother, adds, but Grandpa Gon was a famous hunter, and this girl will one day leave the island, where Jin insists, I will never leave, although she is no longer visible in the heart of the forest. She hears her parents' conversation and responds defiantly. And the father, amused, says, you have a sharp eye. And the scene changes to a shop continuing its work from Mito's days, and the Lake Lord has been cleanly cut and its internal parts sorted. And Jin thinks to herself while working, Mom never understands. When Grandpa speaks joyfully about his memories of being a hunter, Grandma Noko quietly moves away from her seat, and every time Grandpa Gon affirms her belief is heard from someone, she strikes the cutting board forcefully with a knife. I'm tired of this. To wait for someone's return after months and years of sadness crushes my heart. I make someone wait for me. And then the door opens and a warm voice echoes. A chubby little child enters holding a plant. And the child exclaims, I caught the Lake Lord for real. Well, let's honor this whole island with it. And Jin replies, I always wanted to be with the person I want to be with. Together. Always, the child agrees, yes. Both of them, with broad smiles on their faces, cook the food and the bird flies over the island and over the town and its townspeople. The son of one of them, the daughter of another, and the grandchild of another live in different places, exchanging smiles, and they might be the children of that character and the grandchildren of that character. And the bird flies away into the distance, and in the background, a figure watches the scene, which is the end. From reading through this, for me personally, obviously there seems to be a few characters here that we don't sort of recognize, but I'm going to assume that at some point we have a big time skip. A big time skip, like generational time skip, because we've gone from Gon being a 10, 12, 13-year-old boy to all of a sudden Grandpa Gon, which is kind of wild, meaning Grandpa settled down, Gon settled down, he got married, he had kids, he had all sorts, and that's kind of insane to me. And we have Grandma Mito and Grandma Noko, and it's kind of interesting, but there's not a whole lot of crazy amount of detail here. But this is the ending that Togashi has stated that should fate take him early, this is the ending that we will get. And it's kind of wild reading it. It kind of makes me feel kind of surreal. It's kind of like history repeating itself, sort of Gon echoing the way Jing was back in the original, back in the story, like back in the OG story here. It's kind of interesting to see. So it does mean at some point Togashi does have a plan to return back over to Gon and maybe even Killua. I was also reading in another interview there at some point that Togashi actually stated that he has in his mind, after the Chimera Ant arc, another 4 sagas left. How long those sagas are going to be, who fucking knows? You could argue that we've potentially already had one of those with the Chairman Succession arc. This could be the second arc that he is talking about with the Black Whale expedition of everything that's going on. Then probably the third arc being the Dark Continent, and maybe even Gon and Killua maybe rejoining the story. Who knows? But from me, from what I've read after the manga, after everything that happened in the Chimera Ant arc, I kind of made peace with Gon just actually not really returning back to the story, and more focusing on Kurapika and Leorio and the rest of the Phantom Troop and their fight with Hisoka. So I kind of made peace with Gon not coming back to the story. But obviously Togashi in this ending specifically, and maybe in the other 3 endings that he's got written out there, maybe he has obviously plans for Gon to return. So I don't know. It's interesting to read this, and it's kind of weird feeling reading what he thinks might be the ending if, you know, worst comes worst. But it's kind of interesting to see. But I wanted to get on here and talk to you guys short, like, you know, put that ending out there, let you guys know that this is a thing. It exists. It's here. You know, if you like this video, make sure to like and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of this possible ending in the comments down below. And as always, I will catch you guys all in the next one. Much love. Big kisses. Peace.